Hello world, hello to everyone. Today we wake up with 6 important news that today we are going to give you for you. Um, we are Leandra Agudelo and me, Abel Ayala.
Hello, everyone.
We are going to start with the first news. At the first news, we have Ukraine conflict. Kiev braced for Russian assault. What do you have, Leandra, for us?
The sound of gunfire passing through Ukraine's capital, Kiev, as Russian tanks were filmed entering the city for the first time. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense calling on those living in the northern Ost-Skid, where the tanks were seen to make fire bombs to neutralize the enemy. The European Union has announced new sanctions to freeze Vladimir Putin's personal assets in Europe. The Kremlin, meanwhile, says that Russia is ready for thaw with Ukraine. Spokesman Dmitry Peskov said talks would have to be about Ukraine declaring a neutral status, which will include demilitarization. Russia wants Ukraine to rule out ever joining NATO. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has repeatedly called for talks with Mr. Putin, but has given no sign that he will agree to talk on the basis of demilitarization.
Okay, Leandra, good, but very sad. This is a very sad news for the world.
Yes,
And in other hand, the next news is Pope makes surprise visit to Russian embassy to the Vatican. Well, the Vatican press office confirmed that Pope Francis made a visit to the Russian embassy to the Holy See that expressed his concern about the fighting in Ukraine on Friday morning. The Russian embassy to the Holy See is a short distance outside of the Vatican City, situated on the road leading into the St. Peter's Square, and this was seen by most as a strong personal papal initiative. Aside from saying the visit lasted just over an hour, the Vatican provides no further information nor distribute any video and pictures. The Pope was seen living in the embassy building, seated in the front seat of a small wheeled car. Now, what do you have, Leandra, for us?
this is terrible. We asked to the ambassador Alexander Everson, the Russian diplomat at the embassy, told us Russian media that the Pope personality wanted to ask about the situation in Donbass and Ukraine and expressed his grief concern about the humanitarian situation and condition of the population. He reportedly angered for the care of children, the sick, and the people who were suffering.
Well, as we can see the puppets walking until his white car, as you can see in in the picture. It's very sad that that we are going that we are happening on the world. It's very sad, very sad.
Yes, Abel. The second center of news today is about murder of Mauricio Leal and Marlene Leal, by his brother Junior Abel.
Yes, Leandra, yes. The hearing of the real joiner is the news of the day. It is the criminal case that has received most attention in Colombia in recent years. For the persecution, this man charged with the currently would not only have murdered his brother and prestigious styles, Mauricio Leal and his mother, but he also did everything possible to modify the crime scene to pass it off as suicide. Leandra Agudelo, who is with me today, reconstruct the piece of the double homicide in this most important revelation of the persecution. Leandra.
Abel, Mauricio and his mother were tortured by a small knife, punches, and were later killed. According to the investigators, Johnny Real assured that they found them lively on November 22 in the morning. However, for the persecution, there is no perfect criminal, and the coup of Mauricio Leal's brother seems to fade before the evidence of the investigating entity. This is the reconstruction of the double homicide. For the persecution is all started on Sunday, November 21 at 11 of night when Mauricio Leal and his mother were resting at his house and his brother Junior came from of Paris.
Well, Leandra, according to the prosecutor office, Jordan would have attacked her mother first, who was sleeping in the room. According to the outside autopsy, Marlene died of a stab wound. This was what the necropsy relevant dressed in pajamas and with signs of violence by a knife in the abdomen. The depth in the abdominal wound has penetrated in the posterior body. Structures such as the spine sustain great night energy applied to the subject that generated the trauma. Lethal. For investigators, after attacking her mother, the real joiner would have gone to Mauricio's room. The persecution also says that Joyner would have forced his brother to consume 9 tablets of soapy clone. This is a pasta, a medication to treat anxiety and sleeping disorder. The pasta was found on the scene of would have left Mauricio definitely. Leandra.
Abel, according to the the prosecution before the knife broke, Johnny looked for another in the kitchen to continue attacking Mauricio. The displacement to the kitchen was evidenced by traces of blood that were left on the web, but also the breaking of the knife allowed forensic experts to establish that the two deaths were caused by the same weapon.
Leandra, the autopsy's imaging shows some injuries to the arms and hands that would mean that Mauricio Leal tried to defend himself from the attack to the had the purpose of forcing him to write his note in which he assured that that he left his entire fortune to his brother, Junior, and his nephew. Note that it was written by the stylist, but under there's on the walls struck to demanded to offer the medication. Leandra.
This autopsy imagine shows some injuries to the arm and half the gourmet that Mauricio Leal tried to defend himself from the attack that have the purpose of forcing him to write this note in which he assured that he left his entire fortune to his brother Junior and his nephew, that it was written by the stylist under duress and Hoof Stroke Wolf demonstrate the effect of the medication.
Well, at 6 on the morning, Journey had sent another message posing as a Mauricio, this time to the drive to so that he was he wouldn't send the employee because he wanted to rest.
It seems that after writing the letter, Mauricio received the fatal wound identified in the autopsy, lifeless body of an adult man, general appearance careful, with chlorine, the presence of a knife stuck in the left abdominal flank of the abdomen, injuries due to a sharp element in the abdomen for the persecution after the homicide. Junior have manipulated the crime scene with gloves of cleaner have tried to erase to trace of the murder have evidence in this imaginable. For the persecutor, some blood samples did manage to be erased. His final step, according to the investigator, was to move the body of his mother, Marlene Hernandez, to Mauricio's room, arrange them of the beds to make it look like as usual. Then he would have recorded these audios, apparently impersonating his already brother and just finished putting together his alibi.
Okay, okay.
Incredible, Abel. We are already facing the time of Cain and Abel and Cain. Impressive. And another news today about Blanca Cecilia Sanchez Villazón, a student engineer student.
Yes, Leandra, while she was trying out her professional practice in the construction of the dining room of the popular University of Cesar headquarters of SHIT, the young Blanca Sanchez Villazon of 23 years old and 10th semester student of civil engineering at the University Foundation of an Andean area. She died when she fell from a height approximately 6 meters to be repaired by the elevator pits, which was partially built. It should be noted that his work is being carried out by a contracting firm that won the tender made by the departmental government, as you can see on the picture.
Blanca Cecilia Sanchez Villazón, a civil engineer student, was supervising a work at the popular University of Cesar Savannah headquarters when she fell down an elevator shaft and this was being trained at the clinic in Valledupar. The young woman apparently tried to lift down on a wharf where the elevator was being built, but lost his balance and fell from a height of 6 meters, equivalent to 3 floors. The engineer was supervising the work next to elevator. The worker says that she went to lie down toward the wall on the edge of the elevator. Her body left her and fell through the hole. Her protective helmet fell off, broke, her hip was bleeding, and her arm was misplaced, say a witness. Blanca Sanchez, Jafa Brian Julius, and Bill in one of her hands. She was rushed to a care center where she died as a result of the injuries. This was the last word she was supervising to graduate and as engineer. Terrible news.
Yes, Leandra. There was a multidisciplinary work of the clinic team so that user can access their rights as the sentence currently says, said the doctor. Very sad, this news, very sad.
Yes, very sad. Of another news today, a 34 years old woman of Venezuelan origin underwent the first abortion in the country. This is a detail of the case. The first voluntary interruption of pregnancy was performed in Bogota on a 34 years old woman of Venezuelan origin who decided not to continue with the pregnancy due to the difficulties she would be experiencing because of her status as a migrant. The Orient Medical Center, the place where the woman underwent the procedure, reserved the information of the week of pregnancy in which the patient was a staff that is working to adjust all its service in order to make this type of request. Regarding the case, it was learning that the woman is already the mother and 4 children and have no knowledge of the reproductive right that they have under Colombian law. For this reason, Vivas reiterates the importance of the family population with and duty of this law. This process was allowed when in Colombia only under 3 counts when the health of life of the mother is at risk, when it's the result of previous incest, of if there is malformation of the fetus. However, the decision doesn't contemplate eliminating the crime of abortion from the penal code, for which it is will continue to be punished after 24 weeks, when the 3 grown aren't involved with Abel.
Yes, Leandra, yes. In other hand, it should be remembered that the last Monday, February 21st, the Constitutional Court approved the partial discrimination of abortion, allowing the voluntary interruption of pregnancy up to the 24th weeks. The foregoing was accepted in an extraordinary session by 5 votes in favor and 4 against in the magistrates. In the process, in a process that has been delayed for months due to administrative obstacles and independence to the judges placed by groups opposed to abortion.
Yes, Abel.
Now we are going to with the last news here in Monteria. The news is 42 police motorcyclists arrived to stop the death toll in Monteria. Monteria's mayor Carlos Ordosgoitia Sanin confirmed that the next Friday the Metropolitan Police will put in circulation 42 new motorcycles that will strengthen the patrolling in the street on the investigate of efforts in order to stop the streak of killings. In other hand, he said that in conversation with President Ivan Duque of Defense Minister Diego Molano, he insisted on the need to institutionally articulate actions in the enduring tranquility of citizen security. At the same time, it requires additional police and military units to contain the public order situation that Monterrey is going to through. Greater presence of the army from the new area. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And this was uh, news today for the world. Thank you. Thank you, Leandra.